Right. So presentations involve all of your communication skills. From the search, you do a lot of searching, through the nonverbal communications. However, creating a high quality presentations for an important event, it can take many days. Or in another way, it can take even, there's a lot of time to prepare it. So be sure to allow enough time. The coming week, you will have the important presentation. So pay all the times and be well prepared for it. So may I ask you, since you are also experiencing presentations a lot, in order to prepare 1 hour presentations, how much time you need to prepare in advance? What I mean here is how many days or how many hours, how long it will take you in order to have, an hour presentations. Để có 1 tiếng thuyết trình thì các bạn sẽ mất bao nhiêu thời gian để chuẩn bị nào? Anh Quân. Anh Quân. Are you there, anh Quân? Anh Quân đâu nhỉ?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Yes, yeah. Now, for you, let's estimate how much time you need to prepare for your 1 hour presentations.
Gosh.
Let's guess, no?
Yes, it will take quite a long time, like 1 or 2 weeks.
1 or 2 weeks, yeah.
Yes.
Concentrate, please, yeah. Full times?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, okay, an hour. 1 week is how many hours? Let's say 6 weeks, yeah, 6 days per week, 8 hour working continuously. I don't think that you work continuously 6 days, yeah? But yeah, about like close to 50 hours, yeah. That's the one week full time. Yeah? What about others? How now? Hiện Thảo now. How?
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
I think 6 hours.
6 hours for an hour, presentations. Yeah, that is quick. Yeah, that is really quick. It's a really quick.
Yes.
6 hours. What about others? Yeah, of course, it depends on the topic. Yeah, it depends on the topic. But an hour presentations. Do you know how many slides normally for an hour talking? Ta có biết không ạ? Để nói 1 tiếng. But not the lectures. Yeah, you do presentations to the clients, for example, for your team. Ta biết không ạ? Thì nó sẽ cần 30 slide. Ta sẽ 20. No, 20 for you. 20. If you have 20 slides, it will talk less than 10 minutes. For you. 20 slide các bạn chỉ nói được 20 phút thôi nha. 20 slide xin lỗi các bạn chỉ được 10 phút chứ chưa được 10 phút các bạn đã hết rồi. Ở đây 1 tiếng chúng ta cần nói nhiều. Oh, 2-3 days, 40 slides. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Thank you. Now, there is statistic, the research done. And of course, it depends on the topic. Of course, it depends on how experienced you are in that topic. Yeah, whether it's simple or it's complicated and so on. However, preparing slides, it requires a lot of thinking, require a lot of work. It requires a lot of time and efforts. So they estimate for an hour's talking, you may need 35 to 90 hours. Like a 35 times to 90 times, gấp từ 35 cho đến 90 giờ đồng hồ. preparing for an slide for an presentations for an hour presentations. Yeah, right. So you estimate roughly. Okay. So where is you falling? So you estimate the time for your group presentations. If you want to have the good quality, it will take that much of time. Huh? Right. Okay. Thank you. So preparing slides is not always easy, is it? Yeah. So you still see slide, right? Okay. So allow enough time for you to prepare. Now let's start because since you already started, so I lean up the lectures today quite a lot, you know, and hopefully when we go along, you will recall what you have covered in the first detailed full versions of the presentations. Yeah. The first, which is the planning of presentations, where will be 4 things need to be covered at this stage. The first, you need to analyze the situation. Analyze these situations, including it will involve analyzing your purpose and defining your presentation's purpose and developing an audience profile. And in order to develop an audience profile, you need to get a lot of information from audience. So that is first thing you need to do is to analyze the situations, covering, developing your purpose and the profiles of audience. After that, you need to gather information. A lot of information. You can think if you want to understand the audience, obviously you need to gather information from the audience. So what else the other information need to be collected beside the audience information or the audience related information? Let's think of it because after this thing, you know, I will put you in the groups to discuss about the gather information. And then we move to select. Once you get the information, you structure this. So need to decide what levels of medias and channels you use, or multimedia you use to support your presentations. And the final stage in the planning of the presentation is how we are going to organize the presentations of information. And such kinds of contents to be discussed in details. So now we will focus first on the analyzing the situations, and you know we will focus on the customer. Not customer, but yeah, you can see them as customer. Yeah, it's audience. Your audience, right? And here you see the slide. I move the slide. Yeah. Okay, so the tasks and the actions we need to do in order to analyzing the audience. And once we analyze the audience, we understand them, we can do, we can tailor-make, adjust our presentations to meet the audience needs. So the task, first thing is to determine the audience size and compositions. You estimate that you figure out how many participants, how many audience in your coming events. Like next week when you do presenting, whether it's only lecturers or how many lectures, or whether it's Dr. Coco joining us in the presentations for next week, or who else, whether the classmates joining us or not. Something like that. So you can imagine how big or how small your audience. Identify what they have in common and how they differ. For example, next week your presentations, all the audience, also do similar thing. The difference is that they select different topic. Some of them may select the same topic, like your topic. So they have, a certain level understanding on your research topic, on your presenting topic, and they may ask questions. Yeah, they may ask questions. They are not the fresh. They are experienced. They have dig out in the research for similar topic for last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You know, they have a lot of information. So, and what happens if they are also the one who put the questions and influences to your mark? The first is analyze the mix of the organization compositions, professions, language influences, and other demographic factors. You get this, and based on that information, we call demographic information. You can imagine, how similarities or how different the compositions in the audience. So that is the first things normally we need to do before we start to design our presentations. Anyone would like to say something? Yeah. Yes or no? Right. Okay. And then predict the audience reactions. When you presenting this topic, what will be their reactions? So analyze audience members and why they are attending in the presentations. They want to oppose you, or they want to support you, or they want to learn more information, or they already know there will be a certain curiosities of the participants and so on. But determine the audience general attitudes toward the topic, whether they see this topic is interesting, whether this topic is moderated or is not relevant, but because someone asked them to see in the presentations, therefore they have to be there, or they are really your enemies, hostile. Analyze your audience likely their moods when you speak to them. Find out what kind of supporting information beside the core, beside the importance, and there will be supplementary information. And have the audience assess and respond to your message. So how detailed information you will present, the scope of the presentations. Consider whether the audience has any bias, whether these people, they do not like these options, I know it. So in their thinking, they're already biased, or they like that things very much is already biased. They are not objectives anymore. And anticipate the possible objections and the questions and be prepared for it. We have to prepare for the anticipating questions. And once you predict the audience reactions, you need to shape the audience experience. But analyze whether everybody has the same background and levels of understanding. Determines what the audience already knows about the subjects. So know the experience of the audience. To analyze what the audience expect from you, majorities of them. So such kinds of thing is tasks we need to do. Right? We need to take the actions. We need to gather information. Now, come to the classifications of the audience. Generally, the scholar quite agree on this classification. We can devise on more. However, I think 4 groups is already enough for us to capture, to classify them into different distinctive groups. The first is most favorable for the presenters, that is a friendly audience. Friendly audience means that, wow, this is a topic that they like. They would like to talk about it. There is no boycott. There is no bias for that topic. And for the organization's patterns, they can use any presentations form. And if these presentations need to be repeated in other place to the other audience, so they can, try different things with this group. They will be very less risky to this group. And your styles will be, as the presenters, be warm, pleasant, open, use a lot of eye contact and smile, right? Okay. So to supporting the materials, you can be use the humor, personal examples. No one, they just admire you. Wow. Right, so that is for the friendly, for the neutral one. Neutral ones, they are calm, rational, their minds are made up, but, their thinkings are objective. So in general, indeed, their thinkings are quite objective. So it's okay. It's still lucky if you have this kind of the neutrals audience. As organizational patterns present both sides of the issues, means pros and cons, merits or demerits, topical, and and avoid long presentations. As the individual presenter needs to be dynamic, entertained, because they are not really, sorry, we are neutrals, we're neutrals. So be controls, do not show it, show off, don't show off, use confidence, and don't move around too much, because small gestures. Supporting with the facts, statistical, even the expert opinions. And very difficult when be uninterested. They have the short. They have the short attention spans. They might be there because of someone asked them to be there, forced them to be there. So for the organizations patterns, the presentation should be quick, brief, simple. And for the delivery style, the presenters try to be dynamic and entertaining them. I mentioned ago. And for the supporting documents here, in order to complement your presentations, we should use the humors, the cartoon, the colorful visuals, the powerful quotations, the startling and the statistic, like the numbers I showed this at the beginning. Well, the most dangerous, that is the hostile. It's like an enemy. They want us to take charge or ridicule the speaker. Ridiculous means that they are actually ridiculous. Không có gì cả. They may be there to defend or to show their emotions. Organize the presentations in the ways that less discussions. We call non-controversial, less discussions. And yes, as the presenter should be calm and control the speak even monotones and slowly. And at the supporting should use the here and with this group you should use the reliable and the objective data. Experts' opinions will be a perfect numbers, perfect data for them. So that is the different kinds of the audience. You gathering information of audience, you analyze them and try to, group who's in which group. Okay, so that is preparing. Okay, so that is the planning, yeah, presentations. So now I would like to sit as a group because I quite brief in this, and I would like you to discuss what kinds of informations because later on next week you do the presentations, yeah. So what kinds of informations you need to gather and how? What kinds of informations you can group it into several groups? Group of the group of the informations. What kinds of informations need to be collected in order to organize or in order to prepare for the presentations, and how can we have it? Is the question clear? Yeah. Is the question clear? Are you clear with the questions? And this time, you don't just have the verbal presentation, but each group need to prepare a slide. Prepare a slide. Probably you put tables. For example, you need to get the information of customer, audience, and how are you going to have it? Yeah. The table with 2 columns. But anyway, I leave this for you, totally up to you to decide. But do it in the slides. Yeah, do it in the slide. And we will have, for these activities, we will have 15 minutes. We will have 15 minutes. Are you clear? Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Let me see. Okay. Now, what I do, I will, break you into the room. More. Yeah. We have total, 6 groups. Yeah, don't we? We have 6 groups. I put you in. Hang on. I don't know how. So, let me stop sharing. Otherwise.